EPA and WA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for March 29th, 2021. First thing you'll notice in the video here is I am not in it. The webcam here is, I've been fighting with this all evening, and apparently it doesn't work anymore. So we had to order a new one, and Amazon says Wednesday. So for the next couple of days, I will not be on the video, but have the normal background image and radar and all the conditions expected over the next couple of days here, which today we are expecting windy conditions and a little bit cooler. As you can see, temperatures in the 52 to 56 degree range from north to south, and tomorrow we are mostly sunny, 62 to 66, so a 10 degree improvement between today and Tuesday. Yesterday we had a line of storms come through here. It was an unconventional line of storms, though, in the sense that there wasn't any lightning with it, and that's because we didn't have sufficient instability to produce that. But we did have some wind reports across our southern areas that got us, a couple places like Wilmington had 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. McGuire Air Force Base gusted to 70. So there were a couple of wind reports with some very small parts of that line that went pretty robust. So if we did have instability, we would have been in for one heck of a day, pretty much region-wide. But we just didn't have that with the warm front moving through in the morning, and the plenty of showers that were around, cloud cover, things like that. That actually helped us from it being a tornado threat, which it most likely would have been had there been more instability and some clearing in between the fronts. But here we are on the opposite side of the front, and today is Monday. Of course, we have a little bit of the trough still hanging around here. It's going to have temperatures are still going to be near average. Started off chilly this morning and is going to be breezy. Then we will recover this afternoon as this trough starts to lift out. It's just a little miniature trough there that's going to get temperatures. Once it moves out, temperatures will be back near average. That's what this 52 to 56 represents. That's actually what average is supposed to be right now. Maybe very slightly below that, but it's going to be pretty close. Here's the winds that we're talking about this morning, and we're still looking at some wind gusts that are generally 20 to 30, maybe a few gusts over 30 in some places very early. This is 6 a.m. As I move this forward, it starts to diminish, except for across the high elevations of the Poconos, but we go back to about 15 to 25 here as we get to mid-morning or so, mid to late morning. And then we get in the afternoon and we go back below 25, or actually below 20, as you get into mid-afternoon. So it's going to slowly diminish throughout the day, starting off a little windy this morning. Then it's just breezy around the lunch hour, and then we just start to diminish after that point, and the wind goes away. So that's it for that system. And we are mostly sunny today otherwise, and mostly sunny again on Tuesday. Next system is going to come in here on Wednesday, and this is going to be a cold front, another cold front. It doesn't have a ton of precipitation with it, at least not initially looking that way, but we'll see. There's definitely going to be rain here during the day on Wednesday, and there is an opportunity at the very end as the cold air catches up to it in the far northern parts of our area, and this is closest to the New York-Pennsylvania border most likely, that are going to have some snowflakes at the very end here. This would be far north central PA, northeast PA for that to occur. Elsewhere, probably not. Actually, the new NAM actually has this too. And this is a long-range NAM, so don't take this for take it for what it's worth. At this range, is probably guessing. But it does have some snow flakes, at least at the end here, when the precipitation ends. But this is going to be very, very late and the very tail end. So this is probably not going to do too much at all. And this is going to move out of here very early on Thursday morning or late Wednesday night. So we'll get back to this here. I don't think it's going to be, certainly not this far south. I think that's ludicrous, but I think there is going to be an opportunity across north central PA, northeast PA to at least see some flakes at the tail end. Might be some higher elevations, minor coatings or something like that up there from that. Again, this is coming after rain, and it's going to depend if the cold air can catch up to it in time before this pulls away. But either way, we're going to have a big, deep trough that's going to be sitting over our entire region. And this is going to get, this is a big, broad trough here. So there's going to be a little bit of wind coming in here on Thursday behind that cold front that comes through Wednesday night. But since it's such a broad trough, I don't expect this to be a very high wind event or as long in duration. But it still will be a little bit breezy here on Thursday as the trough is pushing through, and we're going to have temperatures very cold for this time of year. We're going to be back down to between 40 and 45 for 2 straight days. Actually, Friday might even be colder yet, where we're going to have highs in the upper 30s in the far northern areas to lower 40s farther southeast. Only going for a high of 43 on Friday here in Philadelphia, and probably about 38 up here in Wilkes-Barre. So there's a pretty cold couple days to start April, and it is not an April Fool's joke, although it's going to seem like it, especially if we get some of this involved here, and people are awake to see it. But I do think that there is an opportunity for some back-end snow there, just to be right before it ends. Not going to amount to too much, if anything at all. And then the biggest thing is going to be the cold temperatures on April 1st and April 2nd. Once we get beyond that, we start to moderate over the weekend gradually. We are turning mostly sunny here on Saturday, but this trough is going to lift out. So it's going to be a day very similar to today, other than the only difference is there's not going to be any wind on Saturday. So kind of like today as far as temperatures are concerned, very similar temperatures there. And then for Easter Sunday, it looks like we're looking at a partly cloudy day right now, and temperatures on either side of 60. So we do rebound again. And I think that once we get past this week here, we're getting a lot of ups and downs here. This is what happens in March and early April, at least the first half of April. You start getting those fighting battles between winter not wanting to let go and then spring trying to charge in and take over and get winter out of here. So you're still having that fight going on this week here. But I think once you get past, once we get to Easter and get past that point, I think we are more consistently in the 60s going forward. So it looks like we're going to have some temperatures, not these big cold crashes anymore anyway. So it looks like we're done with that after that point. We're going to watch that, though. There is a chance that maybe right after Easter you have another little cool shot that gets you back in the 50s, but nothing like what we're going to see on the 1st and 2nd. But it does look like primarily a dry week once you get outside of this system here coming in on Wednesday and Wednesday night. And again, we're going to watch at the very tail end for the far northern areas of north central, northeast PA for maybe a few flakes here at the tail end, but not a big deal at this time. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchich. That is your outlook for March 29th, 2021. Have a great Monday.